Time to take a look at what's been grabbing headlines around the world. And Florence Villeminot joins us once again on set. And of course, Brexit dominating the headlines around the world.
That's right, particularly the political fallout of the Brexit in the UK for both the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Let's start with the Labour Party, with the front page of the Daily Mail that's talking about how Labour is tearing itself apart. Labour descended into utter chaos last night after an astonishing walkout over Jeremy Corbyn's leadership. Corbyn is facing an insurrection. According to the Daily Mail, 46 of Labour's most senior MPs resigned in protest at Jeremy Corbyn's handling of the Brexit referendum. Now, he's facing a vote of no confidence today, but he's vowed to dig in his heels. And you can see here, Daily Mail is talking about a desperate Corbyn is clinging on, but facing a coup today.
And with Cameron announcing that he's standing down as Prime Minister, probably in October, maybe sooner, the Tories are looking for a new leader.
That's right. They're already starting to jockey for position. If we take a look at the front page of The Guardian, they're focusing on that today. You can see they're talking about how these battle lines are being drawn to replace the Prime Minister. And, of course, the photo there of Boris Johnson. Lots of people expect him to throw his name in the hat. But he's going to face tough competition. And there's a cartoon today, quite good in The Guardian, where you can see all sorts of David Cameron's acolytes here mourning the fact that he is no longer going to be Prime Minister. This is,
we should maybe explain who's who, because it's not.
That's right. So you've got Theresa May there. You've also got Michael Gove, George Osborne, and of course Boris Johnson there. And it really looks like a famous scene, Jesus descending from the cross. Lots of them shedding tears, perhaps crocodile tears, though, according to The Guardian. Now, the Prime Minister, it must be said, has been busy. This is a very interesting article. He's been condemning despicable xenophobic abuse, because this is really an incredible thing. Police statistics say that there has been a 57% increase in hate crime since the referendum on Friday, and you can see, Thursday, the results on Friday. And this is really an incredible article that depicts some of these incidences. And so you can see the Prime Minister has joined in outcries against these incidences.
Meanwhile, north of the border in Scotland, they're vowing to stick with the EU at all costs.
That's right. And this is an incredible article in the Scotland Herald. You can see here, Scotland is in talks with Gibraltar about a radical plan to keep parts of the UK in the European Union. You can see there a photo of First Minister Nicola Sturgeon. She's going on a diplomatic offensive to lobby Brussels and EU member states about Scotland staying in the EU, perhaps with Gibraltar, perhaps with Northern Ireland as well. It's a very interesting article. Meanwhile, David Cameron is also headed to Brussels for a final EU summit. You can read about that here in The Independent, which says that it's probably going to be a little awkward in Brussels. And the Wall Street Journal is focusing on this today in their editorial as well. The Brexit goes to Brussels. This is a very interesting piece, because the Wall Street Journal isn't always in favor of the European Union. But this editorial says that this is an opportunity for the EU. This is the spur that they need to change themselves, to reform before other members start following Britain's lead.
OK, let's move on. As an Englishman, my heart is broken. We've been kicked out of Europe twice in the space of a few days.
That's right. First there was the Brexit, the referendum, and then there was the Brexit in the Euro Cup. Of course, England was eliminated by Iceland. Iceland has really emerged as the favorite underdog in this Euro Cup. You can see here the front page of L'Équipe. Génial. This is an amazing team. Now, of course, Iceland is going to play against France on Sunday in the quarterfinal. Wonder if L'Équipe will keep saying that they're génial after that. Now, of course, the Icelandic papers are super excited about this. This is the front page of Fréttablaðið. Iceland 2, England 1. How far will they go? Now, if you're just tuning into this Icelandic miracle, you can head to the New Zealand Herald, which has 11 things you need to know about Iceland football. This is their first major tournament, and their success is a real surprise because, of course, Iceland isn't really famous for football, and their players aren't all professional football players. For instance, the goalkeeper is actually a film director, and the coach, up until now, has been a part-time dentist. Now, he does say that after this competition, he's going to go full-time as a coach. And there are 30,000 fans in France. That is 10% of Iceland's population. So quite a few of them made the trip over to France.
It just makes it all the more embarrassing for England, really. And finally, a word coming out of the US, where the Supreme Court has struck down a Texas law that had shuttered half of the state's abortion clinics.
That's right. This is being heralded as an incredible vote from the Supreme Court. In several papers, the New York Times among them calls this a major victory for abortion rights. In fact, the most significant victory in a generation for a woman's rights to make decisions about her own body. The 5-3 ruling essentially was a save by the Supreme Court of reproductive freedom in general. That's according to the Washington Post, which points out that this significant vote comes 43 years after Roe v. Wade, which made abortion legal in the United States. So you can see this decision getting a lot of applause in the American papers today.
Okay, Florence, thank you very much for that look at the international press this hour. We're taking a very short break now, but there's more world news and headlines in just a few moments' time, including, of course, our Focus report, which today takes you behind the bars of a French prison to witness how one imam is trying to break the trend of inmates being radicalized by self-proclaimed preachers. All that and much more coming up. Do stay with us as Live from Paris continues.